everyone. At the current time I'm recording this, it is the 1st of January 2025, and I hope you all have a happy new year and are better for it. Now, starting off this year, I've got another review of a film I watched yesterday, but technically now last year, Glass Onion. Now, I realise I'm a bit late to the party here because this film came out on Netflix in 2022, so yeah, I am something like 3 years late getting to it, but anyway. Glass Onion is effectively a sequel to the 2017 film Knives Out, starring Daniel Craig and Ana de Armas, the kind of classic murder mystery. This one follows on from that film, introducing new characters, a new mystery, but also trying to do its own thing. So what's the setup of the story? Well, there was a group of people who got together at a bar called Glass Onion to kind of talk the shit, basically do everything they could, and just have a good time together. Now, years later, one of the group, Miles Bron, the owner of the company Alpha, invites the members of the group, known as the Disruptors, for a weekend away at his private island just off the coast of Greece. Miles Bron being played by former Incredible Hulk actor Edward Norton. The other members of the Disruptors who show up to enjoy the festivities are the Governor of Connecticut, Claire DeBella, played by Kathryn Hahn, who you may know from Into the Spider-Verse or from WandaVision, Lionel Toussaint, the head scientist at Alpha, played by Leslie Odom Jr., Birdie J, a disgraced fashion designer, played by Kate Hudson. She's also joined by her assistant Peg, played by Jessica Henwick. There's also and final member of the party is Duke Cody, a video game streamer and men's rights activist played by Guardians of the Galaxy actor Dave Bautista. He's also joined by his girlfriend Whiskey, played by Madeline Klein. However, things become a bit more complicated for the Disruptors when two unexpected guests also join them aboard the island. Those guests being Miles' former business partner Cassandra Andy Brand, played by Janelle Monáe, and Detective Benoit Blanc, played once again by Daniel Craig. He joins the party having seemingly been mysteriously invited, although Bron says he never invited Blanc. Although Blanc says he received the invitation, which came in the form of a large box with a large number of puzzles in it, which he found very easy. When they eventually get there, Bron has set up kind of a murder mystery style party. However, Blanc ends up ruining it by saving it way too quickly. But when people start actually winding up dead, the group has to kind of band together and work out who's to blame, why all the deaths are happening, and who is doing it. And while the first one was kind of just your classic murder mystery, this one is clearly kind of in the style of Agatha Christie's famous book, And Then There Were None, also known as 10 Little Indians or 10 Little... a word I'm not going to say on YouTube. Go and look it up, you'll understand what I mean. But with this film, while I admit it's a good film, I don't know if I classify it, hold it in the same kind of high regard as the first Knives Out film, because the first Knives Out film, while I don't do kind of lists of my top 10 films anymore, because I feel like they'd constantly change, this one I feel would be fairly constant. It would be in there. To which I do hold the original Knives Out as one of my personal favourite films, and I do think one of the good things about the original Knives Out was that they kind of set it up as a murder mystery, and then partway through the film, like only about a third of the way in, they show you who did it, how they did it, and now the question is whether they're going to get away with it. This one I felt at first did play out more just like your classic murder mystery, and therefore was still good, but wasn't necessarily as special. But then, once again, the clever thing the film does is about halfway through, we as the audience watch the kind of first half of the film and watch these characters do, and then seemingly a big death happens, and then we seemingly start the film again, but from a new angle, seeing not everything is quite as it seems. To which I do think that's kind of cool. We see that one of the characters isn't necessarily who they're pretending isn't necessarily who they say they are, it's more who they're pretending to be. And we also get to know these characters, the rest of the characters, quite well. And I do think it harks back to the first film, because the idea of the first film was that the family were all terrible people. Like, they believed that they were treating Martha, the Holland's nurse, well. They believed they were treating her well. But in the end, we see that they're clearly not treating her that well, given that they clearly don't know where she's from. Saying she's from Paraguay, Uruguay, Brazil. This time, with a lot of these characters, you get to know them and you get to see how terrible people they are as well. Because it's revealed partway through the film that one of them did some terrible things, another person sued them, and then the rest of them all chose to perjure themselves. Well, they chose to stand up for another character purely because of money and to protect their reputations. To which we do get to see, even with the climax, when a character tries to plead with everyone to do the right thing, everyone is still just willing to sweep it under the rug and just say, no, that's not how it happened. We all saw it one way and we're going to stick to that. To which, this one does also feature quite a few, as I said, it's got a rather stack-filled cast, including, as I said, Edward Norton, Catherine Hahn, Kate Hudson and Dave Bautista, as well as Daniel Craig. But then it's also got a whole load of minor characters in there that are really surprising, including appearances by the late Stephen Sondheim and Angela Lansbury, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Yo-Yo Ma, Serena Williams, and even Hugh Grant. Like, how did they manage to get all these people? Money, probably. And aside from Daniel Craig, the only other actor who technically returns is Noah Sagan. In the first film, he played Trooper Wagner, one of the police officers investigating Harlan's murder. Here he plays Daryl, a slacker who just kind of lives on Miles Bronze Island and seemingly has no reason to be there. Which, I will admit, it does lead to a funny scene where, as I said, one of the characters goes snooping around the rooms to try and find clues, try and find out what's going on, and she stumbles into his room and is just like, I'm so sorry, I shall leave quite promptly. But though there are also moments that did make me laugh, but I think I should probably know better, and I admit probably aren't going to be laughs for many other people. Like, when it's revealed about Birdie's past and why she's doing what she's doing, it's revealed that she got disgraced after she set up a brand making sweatpants, and then it turns out that she her people hired a sweatshop to make them. And they told her about it. This is an infamous sweatshop. She said, sounds great. Till her assistant Peg goes, please tell me you didn't think a sweatshop is where they make sweatpants. I would like to know. I know I should probably know better and I probably should laugh at that, but I admit it did get a slight giggle. And it does lead up to a fairly action-packed climax. I don't want to spoil anything because, like the previous Knives Out film, this is one you really have to go and see for yourself. Although by this point, 2025, you probably have seen the film already. But for anyone who hasn't, give Glass Onion a shot. I think it's a decent follow-up to the first film. I do wish it was more readily available, like originally it was only released on Netflix. But I think more people should see this film. It's a pretty good follow-up, and once again, we did slightly hope that Daniel Craig would have a different accent for each Knives Out film, but he's sticking with his current American accent, and I think he does well enough. So, have a look for yourself at Glass Onion and decide where you stand on this mystery. Anyway, until next time, see ya.